When Trump signs the Genius Act into law, Republicans will be happy. Also, what you say is new. Does RLUSD have the most value of any stablecoin in the world? You need to look at some fresh information and facts. On top of that, we know that Tether is starting a new business and stablecoin to get around these new rules. Guys, let's talk about this because it's not. The signing is next on the list of things to do. A lot. You can't get past the Winklevoss brother. Blockchain CEO Brian Armstrong is sneaking in here. My name is Tom Emmer. He's in charge of the House's party. Not only did he push for a lot of these laws, but he also helped get the votes together. These are Francis Hills. This is Bill Haggerty. This person is the equal to the president. This is Howard Lutnick, who is also known as David Sachs, and is in charge of crypto. The Speaker of the House is this person. I don't know much about this French service either. I have no idea who this guy is, but you can see them. All of these people worked very hard to say this. It's fine, but I'm not sure about this Brian Armstrong and the Winklevoss twin. It's up to you to make sure they sign it. Let's finish this quickly. I'm not sure. Still, it's one of the best. Thank you all a lot. You can now go? Thank you. This is Bo Heinz. My name is Jeremy Allaire. There should be more women. Why not ask women to be in the picture? I really don't get it. You may bring Kathy Wood or some of these other people here, they say. Happy birthday, but I don't understand why there are 30 guys on stage. Thank you, says Jeremy Laird. This is Chainlink CEO. What a guy. I am unable to recall his name. I'm sorry, but there were a lot of people at this event. It's really important. Stuart Alderati and a few other people also went to the party. I thought Chris Larsson wouldn't be there, but neither was Brad Garlinghouse. But let me play this. In this sentence, U.S. Treasurer Scott Bessent talks about the Genius Act. This is an important bill that will put the U.S. at the front of the crypto change happening around the world. Now let's play. The Genius Act became law today after being signed by President Trump. This is very important for digital assets and the strength of the US dollar around the world. This bill gives the stablecoin business the legal definition it needs to grow quickly and reach a $1 company. Digital money changes over time thanks to stablecoins. There is now a quick, easy, and fee-free way to pay online with the dollar. A lot of people around the world will find it easier to use the dollar system with this new tech. Also, the dollar will stay a world reserve currency, and demand for US treasuries will rise, which is what stablecoins need to work. People who buy things, the U.S. Treasury Department, and people who make stablecoins will all benefit from the Genius Act. I appreciate how quickly Congress moved this important bill and how President Trump led in new ways to see it through to the end. Having stablecoins will help Americans get their finances in order and make the dollar the most valuable cash in the world. You knew this would be interpreted this way, right? The U.S. needs to sell its debt to someone else, and stablecoin producers are the best new company or group to do that. They will make people want to buy dollars again. That's what's been getting less lately. Here are some new facts. When it comes to protection and scale, multinational companies need RLUSD, and it costs money for business use cases. There is a new score for Blue Chip. There has been no change to Blue Chip's top-rated safe coin, even though RLUSD is now that coin. Isn't it fun? We already know where the reserves are because it talks about them, right? But this is really cool. That core did catch my eye. Where on this list does Tether fit in? I believed I had it. Yes, it is here. Take a look. Check out Ripple RLUSE. It comes first, then Cashflow. LUSE. Another bad grade for Pax Dollar goes to Cetus. Gemini gets an A and Pax Gold gets an A. These digital currencies all get scores lower than an A. It's clear that USDC is a B+ and Cable is a D. Do I understand correctly that you probably shouldn't touch? I love seeing things like this happen. I wish to learn more about Blue Chip. We looked at Blue Chip's most recent news about stablecoins. The most well-known stablecoin now is RLUSD, beating out Tether USDC and a few others. They talk about being free. Of course, Blue Chip is a different nonprofit group whose job it is to make sure that all stablecoins are safe and reliable. That being the case, knowing that is pretty cool. I also wanted to learn a little more about Blue Chip. It's up on the screen for you to read if you want to know more, but I don't want to go into too much information. But because of the growth and the way things are now, 527 million RLUSD tokens are now out there. There were about 2 billion of these yesterday. Today, Friday, it's about 1.31 billion. Like everyone else, I was interested in what we were seeing and how the growth was going. These are the most recent numbers. The price, market value, amount in circulation, and trade volume over 24 hours are all equal to 1.47 billion. This is one of the safest stablecoins, and it is known for always following the rules. BNY Mellon is behind it. 3 or 4 more words in 6 months. It makes sense that in just 6 months, the market value went up by 27%. It got 16% better in just 6 months. This is the rise rate every month, 3.5% every month. The value grows by 2.1% and new coins are made. I think things will move faster now that the rule is in place. Remember that even though the bill was signed into law today, it won't be used right away. It could be 6, 12, or even 18 months. The US Treasury could sometimes step in to speed up the work on this law and make sure it's done by the end of the year. I'll let you know more about that when I learn more. I did want to learn something from this. As of today, the Treasury has made 10 million RLUSD, 10 million new. It's clear that Ripple's business with steady coins is getting bigger. They were just trying to get new licenses by going to Luxembourg to join the EU. With RLUSD, Ripple set up a company in Luxembourg in April to make it easier for the business to grow in the EU. Someone from the company told Ledger Insights that they will do what MiCA says. Some blogs said that 30 EU countries would be able to use MiCA compliance across Ripple. Don't forget that BNML also works here. Let me tell you a little more about it. This is the present amount of stablecoins and European EMT licensed businesses in these nations. Let us look. Most analysts believe that there will be more than 1 billion RLUSD in circulation by the start of 2026. From 10 to 50 million RLUSD were minted every month, and there was a strong trend for that number to go up. By the end of 2025, regulatory goals and exchange listings are expected to cost between $800 billion and $1 billion. That only gives you a rough idea of what the weather is like right now. The total amount of RLUSD made was between $800 billion and $1 billion. Here is the new information. Putting up the sign is Chad Steengraber. Tether is going to be around for a while. They are going to use a different stablecoin that was made just for the US and is legal there. Tron is expected to have the most important chain. It is mostly being looked into whether Justin, son of Tron, is guilty of fraud, and Tether, which has had some problems in the past, is auditing its one-on-one help. All of this is very interesting. In what language does that mean? That's about two, right? It said that two feathers flock together. Do you understand? Tell, hey, you're up to no good. I'm doing some things that don't seem right. Let's work together to make sure that the US dollar stays safe. That's how I feel. To be polite, I don't understand why the world's largest stablecoin company, which has been around for 11 years, hasn't made it a top goal to show that they have one-to-one backing. Even though they didn't listen to the government for years, they can now start a new business and make a new safe coin for the US market. My mouth only tastes bad things. I just don't like it. It's time to start. Know this. Now the question is what Tether will do. That means Tether would still have to follow these strict rules if they started another business. Set of rules for stablecoins used for payments. You can think of payment stablecoins as low-risk digital assets like cash or US Treasury bonds. The Act makes it clear how they can be given out. In the US, stablecoins can only be released by companies that are allowed to and that accept certain types of payment. If they are in the US, regulators must give them permission to do business there. I'm not sure how Tether will get through this right now. Most likely, it won't even be about them. It will probably have to be a brand new business, and they might have to hide it or give it to someone else to own. Tether has been told by the US government that they can't do business here. However, they may be able to find some ways to get around this. There will still be bank subsidiaries, non-banks licensed by the federal government or open to the public, but not insured by the OCC and state-chartered issuers that have been approved by state officials. There are the same rules that Tether would have to follow or get accepted as one of these allowed issuers in order to stay in the market. They are trying to get back, in case you didn't know.